So, Sam, you ready for the new Apple event coming up on the 16th?
I'm more than ready. I don't know. Honestly, compared to the iPhone event, I don't know if I'm as excited as I was before.
Yeah, what's funny is I'm kind of almost the opposite. Like I want to watch this one really badly. And you know why.
Oh, yes. Well, we'll
But
get to that a little bit later.
even besides that, I
hmm
I just really like I feel like they're going to show a lot and I don't know what they're going to show, and that makes me excited for
I mean that. Oh gosh, I just bumped my mic.
it.
I mean, really, in all honesty, like the iPhone event, we saw the iPhone, we saw all the leaks, and we basically knew everything about what they were gonna announce, like months
Right.
before the event
Right,
even
and
happened.
that's why I'm more excited for this one. And the iPhone events are always like that.
I
I
mean, that's
haven't
true. That's and
even
it's
last year's WWDC. I don't think I always skip like an Apple conference and watch the next one. I'll get everybody's news about it on one of them, and then the next time I'll watch it myself.
uh
And I'm gonna watch it myself this time. I meant to go back and watch the other one, but I was too lazy to.
yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I've watched. I think I skimmed through it. Like one night when I was doing
Right.
homework, I just had it. Yeah, I did because it took me like 3 hours to do this hour assignment.
I didn't watch the iPhone part, but I watched the watch part is
hmm
what pretty much happened.
Speaking of the Apple Watch, what do
In
you
that, in
what
that
are your impressions on that so far?
I hate to ruin your segue there. I was about to say I watched it and I saw that beautiful outro and it was just so great.
Oh yeah.
Tim Cook and the guy from YouTube. So you think we can do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, him and you two.
But you can? Yeah, but really, can you?
Wait, so hypothetically, you could in 5 seconds just push a button and our entire album would be free to everybody on iTunes. Yeah, so I think we
Yeah,
could
we
do
can
that.
do that.
Oh my
Sam
gosh.
does the voice so much better than I can.
But yeah, back to the iWatch.
Yeah.
I gotta know what you're thinking about this.
So at first I was like, here's another watch. Even though it was Apple's idea
Mm-hmm.
first and all the competitors heard about it and made their own,
Uh
yes,
huh.
that
Yeah, that
happened. And you
definitely
can't
happened.
go against what I'm saying. Um, uh, I was just like, I'm not going to be impressed with this thing unless it does something I didn't expect it to do. And in reality, it didn't really do that for me. Now, I think it's the best at what it does. And I've
Mm-hmm.
always pretty much said that about Apple products. It's the best at what it does.
It looks amazing.
It looks really nice. It's big,
Oh
it
yeah.
but it looks really nice. And I didn't really fully grasp what it was until Apple released a very long trailer video about it, about how there's different models, there's different sizes, all the different bands.
Yeah, that
Uh, and,
was.
and the big thing also that they commented on is its UI. It seems the
Oh my
most
gosh,
intuitive out of
so
all watch phone UIs.
good. Yeah, I mean when I saw it, I was excited. I was actually sitting in history class, and the it was the perfect timing. We actually got laptops, and we so I was able to like follow the live blog. Of course, Apple only let the stream to people with Mac, so little
Yeah,
tiny.
that was
That was
that
ridiculous.
was
First
mean.
of
That
all.
was mean.
Second of all, little Chromebook probably couldn't even handle the stream, so because that's what I was on. So I was like working on this paragraph or two we had to write, then switching back to the live blog, and I just saw iWatch pop up. I'm like, yes, yes, I'm pumped.
That stand up in the middle of class and scream.
Yeah, you just get
Everybody's
just
like, "What the
standing.
heck?"
Oh, what the heck
Um,
is up with this
but,
kid?
but yeah, like I was thinking about the
The different configurations.
yeah, and I those are pretty nice. I mean the biggest watch to compare this to is the Moto 360
Oh
because
my
it's a
gosh.
circle thing.
Yeah.
Screw Samsung Galaxy Gear,
Galaxy
whatever
Gear.
the heck that is. But yeah, I mean that's its competitor, and then, but here's the one thing. I mean, that I was just like expected, and it was like that. And if I
hmm
can find it, and then I'll and I'll tell you. It's how much is it, Sam?
Okay, so I thought it
Isn't
was
it,
400, but now I've heard
isn't
350.
it $350?
I think you're right.
It's $350.
Okay. Yeah, I
Uh,
somehow I got 400 in my head. Maybe I was looking at like an up end model.
right.
That's probably like the edition.
For the base model, yeah, I think it's $350. I'm really mad that they don't have a price on their website for that.
Yeah, they should have put it on the
Um,
website. They're probably not trying. They're probably trying to not scare people off the idea of an expensive watch though. Because honestly, it's there's not going to be many people with. This is going to be, in my opinion, like the iPhone when it first came out. Not many people are going to have one, and the people who do have them, people are going to be asking, "Well, what is that? What is this thing on your wrist? Is that the
right.
Apple Watch?" Just like, "Oh, is that the iPhone? It
People
has a
know
touchscreen."
more of what it is, but they won't know what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Saying.
They'll know about it, but not.
Yeah, but they no, they won't know if it's beneficial or not, or
Mm,
how cool it is until they get to see it and play around with it. Um, but yeah. Okay, yeah, it's $350.
okay, yeah, that's what I had heard, but I was not
It's
positive.
confirmed now.
If you had the option to get one of the three editions, for those of you who might not be aware, very oddly enough, Apple's offering this in three different almost configurations. You can get just the standard Apple Watch Sport, or Apple Watch Edition. The watch, I'm guessing, is just going to be baseline 350. Just kind of looks like a nice looking watch.
Watch.
The Apple Watch Sport looks. This is the one that I'm kind of looking into getting.
The sport
Cause
one?
yeah,
Oh yeah,
personally,
because yeah, you
because
run. So
running and all
yeah,
that fun stuff. And then finally, there's the Apple Watch Edition, which is like plated in gold or something crazy.
yeah, 14 karat gold.
That's that's
I
gonna be like
something that
$1,000.
makes it more. I think it's $1,200 if I saw that correctly 2 seconds ago.
Oh, I don't doubt it. It will be
Um,
expensive. It
yeah,
will be expensive, no doubt.
and that's the watch edition, I think.
Hmm. Which
The
one do you want?
edition. The title is edition, and then there's a
That's right.
split in the Apple Watch, and it has the interchangeable bands. I mean,
Those look very nice.
pretty cool. I hope something that's almost revolutionary, just like the home button on an iPhone is the home button on this. It's like
Oh,
a
they.
traditional watch turner, and it turns and it looks really cool. You can zoom in and out with the UI.
Isn't it called the Digital Crown? That's what it is.
Okay, okay,
I thought it was Gold Crown, but yeah, I just checked and it's Digital Crown.
okay.
But I'm looking at a picture of the interface, and of course we'll have links to all the stuff that we talk about, probably for real this time, down below in the show
Sweet.
notes, or in the link to the YouTube video if you're watching this on
The
YouTube.
link dump.
Yeah, but I'll link you guys to the Apple Watch website, and you can see the interface looks very, very sharp.
Yeah, and then so it's really awesome, but getting right down to it, I'm paying $350 for something that my phone does, and I need my phone to use it entirely.
That's a little cumbersome. I mean, I was thinking about running. I was very excited that I'd be able to just have a standalone watch and just feel like free, not having a phone on you, but have a watch, so you can have a stopwatch, so you could use a GPS. And then you have to use this with an iPhone, so I'm gonna have to lug this 4.7-inch iPhone. Not that I don't love the form factor of the iPhone 6, because
Hmm.
I do, but I'm gonna have to lug this extra thing along with me and get like an
Right.
armband or something. And then it bears the question: well, what's the point of the watch if you can just have a stopwatch on your arm now with
Yeah.
your phone? So uh, I don't know. I hope that they could like. What reminds me of this is kind of like the first iPhone yet again. It requires. I'm thinking a little out there, but you know how the first iPhone and everything up until iOS 5 or 6 required a computer to when you got it.
Yes, I do remember that.
So I'm thinking maybe in the second, third, fourth, fifth generation of the software, or probably even more likely the hardware, it's gonna
Right.
be, what did they call it? They called it um not, I'm thinking hands free. That's not what they called it. It was like PC free. That's what it was. PC free.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
remember seeing it as a
I think
feature.
it was iOS 5. I was almost about to say iOS 4, but I think it's 5.
Yeah,
Where
I think it was iOS
they
5.
got rid of the need for a PC, and then I thought of a counter argument, but I just crushed it myself. Where, I mean, everybody had a PC, and it just and then people, I mean, all people didn't want to install iTunes to do it. And yeah, I mean, if you didn't have iTunes, I could see for it being a pain in
Hmm.
the butt to do that. And then at the same time, yeah, if you're getting this, you probably have an iPhone. But but when I look at this, and I don't mean to drive home a point with this, but when I look at this, it just reminds me of the iPod Nano, the one before this one, I think, the current one we're on. The iPod Nano that could fit into a watch band. And really, I think what would have been almost cool if they would have almost dropped or combined it. If you take the bands off of this thing,
Uh-huh.
it's an iPod Nano. I mean, if you
Oh, it
really
mhm,
think about it,
definitely.
it's I mean, the bands, and you can take them off like completely, so it's just a square. There's no thing propping it up except for the circle in the back.
Uh-huh.
If they would have maybe like dropped the price just a little bit and then kind of combined it like with the iPod Nano like idea that music and stuff, even though that's not a big selling point anymore, that's just an extra thing that it does.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's just like an add-on.
Right, when you really think about it, I can't put my music on my phone because I don't have enough storage. That's why I put it on my iPad. Um, I wish I could do that, but I mean, I definitely put it on this, and I definitely take it out of the band sometimes. So like, um, it's marketed pretty well, but I think that would have been interesting to see. Well, if that's an iPod, then I can, um, get that, and then it can also do other stuff. And they could have even done that more back in the day.
Yeah, I mean,
Original
that's a good
iPod
point.
Nano came out, and then they could have just kept going on from there, making it
They
better and better.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. They could have had an iWatch since the original Square iPod Nano,
Right.
and they could have
And
just kept building it years
I
ago.
know Steve Jobs, I mean, if he was still alive today, would be knocking on his head with his hand on his forehead. That I messed up tripped over my words there.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's okay.
but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, that's what everyone says. What would Steve say today if he saw the iPad Mini? If he saw a
rolling
4.7-inch
over in his
iPhone?
grave right now.
Yeah. I never want to see an iPhone bigger than 3.5 inches.
That'll be. I wonder if we would have not gotten the bigger iPhone if he was still alive.
It'd be interesting. But then again, I mean, he would have had to compete with Samsung. There's no way that people would still be content with a 3.5-inch phone in 2014.
Do it his way or take the highway.
It truly would be interesting to see how where
Yeah,
Apple would be today,
it really would be. Yeah.
because there would be no iPad Mini. The iPhone would supposedly, based on what he said, still be very small.
I could see the iPad Mini still happening.
I mean, he seemed like he was completely against it.
Really? What? Did they ever ask him that? Like at
Yeah, you didn't know that? People
one
were
of those
asking him.
events with the red chairs? And no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I think they might have. I think
Really?
that might have been where they asked him, or somehow word got out that, because this was way prior to the iPad Mini. I think this is a 9 to 5 Mac article I read years ago. And it said he did not want a mini iPad or a smaller iPad. He felt that the 9 point whatever X amount of inches was the perfect size for a tablet, and it should
Okay.
not be any smaller.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at it now, when I hold your iPad, Sam, it just seems big to me.
I've honestly been considering, when the new iPads come out, to sell this and get a mini Retina with Touch
That'd be
ID and stuff.
interesting to see if you do that.
Speaking about iPads,
Yes.
that was another beautiful transition. This is the day, man. Um, but supposedly at Apple's October 16th event, they are supposed to unveil new iPads, and I've heard, I mean, it's pretty much confirmed based on some leaks, that there's going to be Touch ID on both the iPad Air and the iPad Mini Retina second generation.
Yeah, that would be dumb to not just. That would be really dumb not to see that happen now. I
Definitely. I
mean,
mean,
I totally expect that to happen. I would be shocked if
it
they
would
did.
be it would be it would not be acceptable if they waited another year.
Right.
I was upset last year that the new iPads
Yeah,
didn't have
yeah,
Touch
yeah.
ID. I
Not the
thought
same. Right. Sorry.
no,
Continue.
you're fine. I was gonna say I thought they did the iPhone 5S and they would just do it all in 1 year
Right.
because they would have competed much more. If you heard that an iPad or a tablet, if you're just the average consumer, had a fingerprint
Mhm.
sensor and the Samsung Galaxy had a higher resolution screen, I mean, I would think, oh, fingerprint sensor, that sounds pretty high tech. I want to look at that one. I want to see how
Mhm.
this works on the tablet because that fingerprint technology on a phone was just brand new last year. No one else had really done it. Now Samsung got on the GS5 and all that, but
Right. And it's not as cool.
no,
Uh,
you like don't you swipe down or
yeah,
something?
you swipe down your finger across the home button.
Gimmick. What?
Uh,
Yeah, I don't really get
I'd
all
like
that.
to just make a quick point. I'm sure some people saw the iPhone 5s and the fingerprint scanner and are like, "Oh, that's just some gimmick.
Uh huh.
Nobody's gonna like that."
People probably
I
thought it would
use
be a
it all the
fad.
time. I don't even notice that it's there. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just something that's just commonplace now that I think should be with everything. At the same time, I mean, not to be mean, I could care less if it's on my iPad. Um, but if you're somebody who takes your iPad out all the time
Mm-hmm.
and uses it all the time a lot and you really love your iPad, you take it everywhere, totally could see why you want a fingerprint scanner.
Definitely.
iPad usually doesn't leave my bedroom. It just sits in here,
Stationary.
or I take it down the stairs when I want to eat something because I watch. All I do with it is usually watch videos on YouTube or listen to music. I don't really play games on it that much. Um, I love it. I use it a lot, but I don't use it for a lot of different things. I've said that too many times. Or I
No,
guess
totally.
it's
I mean, I keep saying I mean, but I don't use my iPad. Mm, I mean, I've brought it out of my house. I used it actually to type a paper, which was really actually nice. Like a couple, maybe like a month ago,
oh yeah,
and I typed a paper on it. It was very nice. It
nice.
was convenient to bring it out of the house and type it while either I was riding in the car or when I got to the restaurant, and it was convenient and I liked it. But that was one of the few times that I've ever
Right.
taken it. I shouldn't say it like I've never taken it out of the house before. I mean, I take it out frequently, but not as much as my iPhone by any means.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe 1/50th of how often I take my iPad out or my iPhone. Sorry.
Right. I just don't take it out that much because I just if I want to like I mean for say type of paper I like to use Google Docs and then
Mm-hmm.
I got to tether my phone to it and it's all cumbersome and it's just better even for how small the iPad mini is it's still cumbersome when taking it places in my opinion almost.
It is. It's a little bit to carry. I definitely agree with that. I walked in
Right.
with my iPad and I felt like I was holding like a
Yeah,
40
like a
pound book in my arm
yeah,
just because it's
exactly.
bulky, it's big.
I mean, I don't even care if Apple made it way less. It's still that size. It's just how it is. I mean,
Yeah, you can't.
yeah, it once again I think it's awesome, but it's just not something I would carry around. I mean, that's why the iPhone 6 Plus, if I would
Mhm.
ever the next one, the 6
Six,
if it's called the 6 Plus, I'm gonna be I'm gonna laugh, and it will be called that. I think that's a cool name, but I just think it's funny.
what the 6S Plus?
Yeah, if they call it that.
6 Plus, 6 Plus,
6 Speed Plus.
6 Plus. It'll be
S,
all one word.
S does stand for speed, right?
This has been highly
Yes.
debated.
Yeah,
Apparently,
I think
when the
that
iPhone
one.
4S, I've heard everything from when the iPhone 4S came out. Somebody asked, and apparently someone from Apple said it standed for Siri. When the iPhone 5S,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I've heard
I
everything across
that
the board.
that's dumb. I mean that's cool, but that makes sense because I'm like, why would people not be thinking that? But yeah, when the 3GS came out, it was like speed. Speed was the thing.
So let's see. It
What
would be speed, Siri. What about what about the
five?
5S?
Yeah, what about the 5S?
Slick home button.
uh, Slider.
Slider, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it would be called, but I think maybe then it just became a trend to call the
Yeah,
in between
yeah.
huge upgrade iPhone the S.
iPhone,
Maybe.
iPhone 5.2. 5.5. Now
Speaking,
when I say 5.5, it sounds like I'm saying a screen dimension. Um, but yeah, so yeah, that definitely fingerprint sensor on the next iPads would be great to see. We have
no doubt. I
talked
I
about that
really
a lot.
hope. Hmm.
And then what else are you hoping to see on the iPads? That's pretty much all I'm expecting. I don't really expect a big boost in the processor. I don't know. How does do you have iOS 8 on your iPad?
Uh-huh. It honestly, I just pulled down notification center and it lags a little bit.
Oh,
Like the
really?
blur, you would think that you were running this on like an iPad too. Because when you pull down
Ugh.
notification center, this is iOS 8.1. This is even the beta and it's laggy there.
I
It's
hate
not
that.
smooth. The iPhone, let me try doing the iPhone 6 real quick.
Hmm.
So
I,
it's pretty smooth on the 6.
okay.
But
Yeah,
it's
I don't expect to see a big boost in the processors for the iPads.
I'm sure we'll just see the A8. Maybe we would see an A8X, but that's kind of a reach.
Yeah, I don't know. Does the the current iPads, do they have the same processors like iPad Mini and
The iPad, yeah, the iPad Mini Retina,
iPad
the newest one. Well, there's
Retina
only
and
been one iPad Mini Retina,
iPad Air?
and the
Yes,
iPad Air have the
right.
same.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, that would be interesting to see in 8X. I think I would expect just the 8 because the iPhone 6 obviously has that.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, I
um,
would definitely expect the 8, but maybe who knows?
right.
Wild card. I wouldn't mind seeing an A8X with like improved graphics handling or something along the lines of that.
Hmm. Speaking of graphical increase, what's going on with the new Macs? That doesn't make any sense, but the,
No, no, definitely because
okay, it
supposedly
does.
at this event, also Apple's going to be pushing out upgrades to the Mac.
Right.
And one of the highly anticipated upgrades is for drumroll please. Take it away, Jake.
The Mac Mini.
Yes.
I I'm excited. I've never actually myself. We have one downstairs, but I don't have a Mac. As much as I have loved Apple dearly throughout the years of my childhood, um, we don't have. I don't have a Mac. And that would be probably the most cost-effective way to get a Mac.
Definitely.
Also, I have like a little portable monitor case that I'm making for my Xbox and could easily double as a portable monitor for the Mac Mini. Almost, it would probably be better for that. But I will not get one unless it's upgraded by the end of this year. And it hasn't been upgraded since 2013 or 2012. No,
I
2013.
can't I can't remember. It might have had a slight spec
It
bump in
had a slight
2013,
spec boost in 2013, I'm pretty sure.
something like that.
Um, but it's kind of the Mac that nobody really remember, or it's just there. Not a
Mhm.
lot of people think about it when they think of Macs. Unfortunately, I think about that over the iMac every time. The iMac just seems as cool as it is. I mean, I just don't. I'd never get one ever because,
Really?
well, I mean, unless it's like cheap and awesome.
Yeah, unless the price is down,
But
obviously.
it's only like, let me check here. It's one the base model is 1.4 gigahertz, and that's $1,100. I would totally want a MacBook Pro over that any day. what that already has
That
higher
pixel.
gigahertz.
Yeah.
That's the word at its base model.
Oh yeah, faster processor definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is
Oh, well, it does have default 8 GB of memory, so I did not see
and
it until I just looked at it.
correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it quad core baseline iMac 2?
Uh, the second iMac, the 2.7 gigahertz is quad core, but
Oh,
the base is there. This says new, by the way, next to it. So this is a new one.
yeah, they did a spec bump like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah, so this says new. It's only dual core, 1.4 gigahertz core i5 turbo boost up to 2.7. Um, I Turbo boost. I don't know how reliable that is. I don't take it into account a lot.
I don't even know how that works.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know how it works, and it's vastly different than overclocking. I've heard, so I don't really understand how that works at all. But it has 8 GB baseline, 500 GB, and then interesting. This only has Intel HD graphics 5000, whereas the upper models have Iris. Oh wait,
Iris.
never mind. Then NVIDIA GeForce, uh, GT 750M,
Yeah,
one
some
gigabyte
long.
RAM, and then blah 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 blah.
Something like that.
But I haven't been for the. I've just been trying to figure out what is the best way that I should get a computer building it. I've looked into a Gigabyte Bricks. I can install OS X on that by means that I will not discuss, and then I'll get a Mac Mini if it's updated. But I need it to be upgraded to at least the specs of Sam's computer, just so I can have the same specs as Sam.
Yeah, so you can compete with me. Try to take over my YouTube channel. I don't like it. I can't handle it anymore.
Yeah, but
I do hope.
I need a stronger computer for editing and stuff like
That's
that, and to play Minecraft because that's so dang
oh
important.
so graphics intensive.
Yeah.
You could probably play that on a potato.
Well,
Maybe.
I'm playing on a potato right now, and I'm not happy with it. So.
Oh well, potatoes are dumb then. I hate
Oh
potatoes. I actually had fried potatoes for lunch, also known as French fries. They were delicious.
yes.
That's a little off topic. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to it. But
Fries like on Thursday, they tasted like they were from like the original McDonald's fries from like 5 years ago, and those were really good.
they did. Oh, I didn't on Thursday.
Yeah, I think it was on Thursday.
Darn it. Yeah, I had a cross country meet that day, so I had to eat extremely
Yeah.
healthy. I'd like.
They were hot fries too.
Mm,
I have a lunch. Well, yeah, I have. Okay, we're totally gonna. I when I start talking about which lunch I have, the the viewers aren't gonna understand.
Our listening stats rates
The
just
most
drop.
complicated system we had to learn when we went to school.
It was
So
very basically he ate first period. He was in the first lunch shift.
we have different lunch shifts. So all right. So you expect to see the Retina HD MacBook Pros, right?
Is that a thing?
Oh, I thought you were talking about that. Where
I
did
was
I?
I think I was talking about the Retina HD iPads.
Oh, I'm stupid.
No, you're totally fine.
Um,
That's totally something you could get confused, but
but I
that'd be
think it's
great.
funny that they're called that. Like, oh, it's Retina, now it's Retina HD. You didn't think Retina was HD enough. It's more.
That is such a dumb name because that honestly, if I was someone who was not informed about Apple at all, I would be, oh, so it wasn't HD before?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it sounds
I
like.
think of low now when I think of Retina, I think of low res. Where
Right,
that's
exactly.
not even
And
true.
I don't want to think of it like that.
Oh, I don't want to at all. But that
Yeah.
the HD makes me. It sounds better, obviously, because it's
Right.
HD,
Yeah.
and everybody thinks that HD it means it's like this super high quality thing.
Exactly.
But it's a strange name. Not too happy about it. But speaking of the Retina display, supposedly they might announce a 12-inch Retina MacBook, uh, which supposedly that's been in the works, and also a Retina iMac.
So iMacs are not Retina yet.
No, they do
Okay.
not look very
I
good.
I'm sorry. I don't keep track of
No, I mean
these
I
very
was
well.
just saying that because they After I get used to using a Retina MacBook every
Oh
day, and
yeah, we
then
went to that Apple store that one day,
hmm
and you just look at it, you're like, blah.
yeah, you see like 4 PPI. No, it's not that awful. That would be like
Oh my
alarm
gosh, that would
clock.
be like 6 dots on a screen.
That'd be awful. You just can't read anything. This is the Retina HD Plus. Now, now with, what if Apple had like a
6
4K
plus Retina
resolution?
HD Pro S.
Pro S plus iPhone 6.
7.
Yeah. But those are expected.
Those I actually would totally expect to see those. If not Retina, at least a graphics boost on the iMacs.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
maybe another little upgrade. Kind of hoping they don't update my MacBook, just because then I feel outdated.
yeah, exactly.
They actually did a minor spec bump a couple months ago where it's zero point 0.1 faster
Sam,
processor. But
you don't need to get a new one.
I want one though. No,
Sam
I'm kind of in gotta.
is like, I don't know how he gets his parents to do this. He lives only. Okay, I'm saying too much again.
It's okay.
But he can just sell what he has and then get pretty much enough to buy the newest thing.
Yeah,
I,
definitely.
I
So
my parents would be like, "Oh, you don't need the newest thing though, Jake. That's bad. You shouldn't be that. You shouldn't get the newest thing. That's just not. That's just how it's supposed to work."
and definitely my
And
it's
that
been a
and they're
struggle.
right. They're right too because I mean,
It
it's a little bit too much.
it's definitely true, and even it's definitely true that no, I don't need the newest iPhone every year, but
Right.
I just say I mean, and I this is how I
But
rectify it with
Sam,
myself that I just like having the newest iPhone every year, and my channel is based around technology, and
I think you have a perfect excuse why you need to get the new iPhone
yeah,
every.
and I feel kind of obligated to make videos on the newest piece of technology so that my subscribers are informed, or even just random viewers who might
And
stumble
I'm
across a video.
happy you get it too, so I can see it and use it
Yeah,
and
yeah,
touch
and I
it.
might just really like having the newest thing because it's faster and cooler and
Right.
Touch IDer and 6 pluser and
But yeah.
this is
So
gonna be
new
an
Mac
interesting
Pro
adventure.
obviously gonna happen. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
They make it the size of a coffee cup.
that would be so weird.
And it says Starbucks on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, there's
um
like a Starbucks branded Apple Pay iPhone. Really quickly, I just want to mention, for those of you who might not be aware, iOS 8.1 in sorry about that, guys. And now this is continuity for you. I click the button on the side of my iPad or on my phone, so it stops ringing. Then continuity kicks over to my iPad.
Oh really?
Yeah, good thing I'm not running Yosemite. It would have been 3 things ringing at once. That's hilarious. Continuity. I was actually gonna say how awesome it is because my dad called earlier and my iPhone was sitting in another room and I just answered it on my iPad because I was using
That's
my iPad at
awesome.
the time.
That's so cool.
But
I That was the biggest thing takeaway from Yosemite was the features, the syncing capabilities, which I was expecting and happy that happened with OSX.
I'm very excited to be using like continuity in full when
Yeah.
Yosemite's. Also, people are saying that Yosemite, and this is expected as well by everyone, that Apple's going to talk more about Yosemite and probably give us a release date.
hmm
Maybe even release it that day. I mean, that'd be really cool.
Looks like the current MacBook Air has better graphics than the Mac Mini, and that pisses me off.
That is not right. You ever designed that new MacBook
It
Air?
has
Air?
1,000 more. The MacBook Air has 1,000 more graphics than the Mac Mini. So I hope to God that they update the Mac Mini because I really do want a Mac. It's about time that I get it.
It's
And
been
it's
way
like
too long.
it has been way too long.
Man,
Way too long.
third beautiful transition. This is going good.
Yeah.
So about as always, there's numerous interpretations of this.
hmm
What do you think that the it's been way too long is trying to tell us? Hint at.
Um, a new lineup of iPods?
I definitely think that's a possibility because the iPod, I mean, really has not been updated for a while. If you think about it, I think the last upgrade I
Right.
want to say was the fifth generation with the iPhone 5, maybe? I'm not sure.
Actually, no. Wait. No. Wait.
I have no
I
clue.
swear that the iPod Touch 5th gen did not run iOS 6.
Oh,
I
it
am.
did. It did.
It
I
did?
bought one when it had iOS 6 on it.
Oh, okay. Then the 5th gen ones. They're the iPhone 5 releases. I
I'm
don't
pretty
know. I
sure.
don't know which event it was at. You're right. I don't know.
I want to say it was at the iPhone event, but it
I
might have
want to
been at
say
the
it was at the
iPad.
iPhone event too, but I'm not sure.
I kind of remember them talking about the iPhone 5 and the new screen size, and then they said, "Oh, we're bringing this to the iPod Touch too. It's got better 5 megapixel camera because the the camera on the fourth gen iPod Touch is just
Oh my god.
awful. It was
Eh,
like it's like the
right.
iPad 2's camera is. It's
Right.
just terrible.
Yeah. And what's funny is that uh you were saying at the store that the iPod Nano still has the kind of iOS 6 looking icons.
Very strange that that's not been updated.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the iPods, and I don't really know this. I don't know the statistics, but tell me, do you ever see the latest iPod Nano or latest 5th gen iPod Touch? Never see it. I never see. I've seen the 5th gen iPod Touch a couple times. I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen the latest Nano ever.
No, I mean those
Um,
sales have got to be
in the
super low.
shuffle, does the shuffle still exist? I'm not. I don't even know.
90% sure. Let me. I just searched APLE in my rush typing. Let's go to iPod real quick. Yes, so they have Shuffle, Nano, and Touch now. iPod Classic is.
They should just drop the shuffle.
iPod Classic is dead, Jake.
Oh wow! No, it's not.
It is. You didn't know that?
What?
You didn't.
Oh,
Oh, you didn't hear that?
My dad got a new one like 2 months ago, or 3 months, 4 months ago, or I don't know, long
Yeah,
ago.
they discontinued it.
See, here, here's why that pissed me off. People, people love music. There's a lot of people who really love music, and they have a lot of music, like 5,000 songs, a lot of music. Like
Oh
my
yeah,
dad. Which one of these devices is going to offer me that storage for me to store that on? Yes, and yes, you do need more than 128 gigabytes.
definitely. I mean, this is a far stretch, but do you think? Oh, hold on. I'm starting to see some stuff come together in my head. What if they brought 128 gigs, or even this is a little crazy, but 256 to an iPod Touch?
I mean I if you're going to drop the iPod Classic, yeah, you need to have
They
something at
need
least
an
that does
alternative
that.
that's
Either the
better.
iPod Nano or the iPod Touch, sorry, it only has 64 gigabytes. You need something that supplies that amount of storage because the iPod Classic was like, I don't want to generalize it, but it was always like the dad iPod
Uh huh.
that I mean I'd see all dads have, and then that was their Apple device.
Uh huh. My
My
dad's got
dad
a.
has an iPad. He can't fit nearly any songs on it. He has way too many games, but he can't fit like any songs at all. And he just doesn't really. He just doesn't use it to. He does, but like, if he really wants to listen to his music a lot, he's going to plug in his iPod Touch. Um,
He has an iPod
what
Touch.
is or sorry, not his iPod Touch, his iPod
Oh,
Classic.
I was gonna say really. I didn't see. I wouldn't think your
No,
dad would
his
have that.
iPod Classic. I meant to say that.
Yeah, my
Uh,
dad's got an iPod Classic sitting downstairs as well.
yeah. And what's funny, he's gone through like four of those things.
I think this is my dad's second one. He actually got one free through his work, and then the hard drive
Oh,
crashed on it.
yeah. That's what happens. Well, my dads have always been, yeah, either the battery just gets fried because it was used so much, or the
Overuse.
hard drive crashes, or,
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, he just used them so much that they would just break. And the first one he did have was not the one that was because he would used to keep both. One wouldn't just keep it charged, so we'd always have it plugged in and sync both of them up. So one was for like on the go.
Uh-huh.
Um, but he had the glass iPod Touch, or the one that was like, or not iPod Touch, gosh, iPod Classic, the one, not the
Yeah.
one that was made of metal, the one that had like the plastic looking glass or whatever that was on top of it.
Uh-huh.
The one before the metal one they have today that is
Like the
apparently
white one?
discontinued. The a black version of the white one, pretty much. I don't know how to describe it. Like it was just like it still had, of course, the metal back, but like it was just instead of metal on the top or aluminum or whatever that is,
Uh-huh.
it was just a plastic that was supposed to look like glass.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
I mean I don't know. I I I mean I know that's what it looked like. It's been
I
a
think I know what you're trying to describe.
yeah.
Something. It
Just
was some
instead of
iPod.
there being metal, it's just plastic, pretty much. That's black.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
um
I think something like that. It's
yeah.
it's hard to remember
But,
far back.
yeah, and then speaking it once again with the watches, I mean, iPod Nanos, like I or wait, let me back up here. So iPod Touches, it was our generation. I'd say, it's Sam and I like your iPod Touch. I don't know if you got one, but that was my own Apple. Well, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words today, guys. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, first Apple device, my mom's old shuffle that plugged in. I like moved up the food chain here. My mom's old shuffle, the one that USB stick, like it was like a full USB stick, and you just plug it in your computer. You didn't
Oh
have a
wow. I do not I do
yeah.
not have that one.
That's the original shuffle. That's what it is. And then it had a band, or it had a cap. One cap was just a cap, and the other cap was a necklace, so you could wear it as a necklace when you're running, I guess.
Oh really?
And then I got the iPod Nano, the cube one. That I still that's the nicest looking iPad Nano to me today. The one that's like shaped like a cube.
The square
Right
one?
right before the huh?
The square one?
Yeah, right before the second right
Oh,
before
not the rectangular one.
not yeah, right before they went back to the rectangular ones, the square one.
Okay, I know what you're talking about
Yeah.
now.
I think it was the third gen iPod Nano.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The watch one.
No, no, the one that was a square. I had the square. It was right after the second gen iPod Nano. Okay, they had the first gen iPod Nano, then the second gen, which my mom still uses today. I can't believe it. The one that had the colors, right? And
Uh-huh.
then they have the third gen. It was shaped like a square, and then the fourth gen they went back to those rectangle ones with those large screens. Then the fifth gen they added a camera. Then the sixth gen they turned it into a watch thing, and then the seventh gen we're on the iPod Nano seventh gen right now. I don't know if I got all those numbers correct. I know they're not called that, but that's just how I was numbering it.
There's been so many generations of the iPod Nano.
Right. And then I got an iPod Touch second gen, fully thinking I was getting a third gen iPod Touch because they said they were out, but those were only the 32
And
gigabyte,
64 gigs. Yep,
or 64 gig ones.
I
Yeah,
got the 64 gig one for Christmas one year.
yeah. And I was mad about that. Discovered jailbreaking. That was awesome. Then I got an iPod Touch
Good
fourth
times.
gen. Um,
Never had that.
oh, really?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, that was like my device, man. That was like the thing. And then then I got an iPhone 4, and here I am with my 5S.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
And an
I've
iPad Mini too, but I got an iPad Mini after I got the 4. All right, continue.
I got my first was the iPod Nano,
Right.
not square. It kind of looks like it had the little square screen, but it was rectangular. The device.
So you had probably like the one after mine. Did it have a camera on the back of it?
No,
Okay, they like added a camera later
I
to
do
it.
remember that. I think I
Yeah,
was upset.
yeah.
But I had that. Then I got fifth grade 8 GB iPod Touch. It was the happiest moment of my life up until that point, other than being birthed.
Right.
No, but there was this other kid in the class that had an 8 GB. Oh wow, I think he had a first gen. Yeah, he had a first gen. I'm pretty sure. And then they released the second gen. I got the second gen. Was totally psyched. First app I ever downloaded.
Right.
Fun fact was Tap Revenge.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That
I
was the
remember that.
first
I
app.
got that too.
Mm-hmm.
There was
I
those
remember it
little
clearly.
gimmicky iPhone or iPod Touch apps. I had all of those,
Oh
man.
yeah, Tap Revenge
Yeah.
2. It was the best app ever.
Mm-hmm.
Then I for oh yeah, so I had second gen. Year after that, of course. Here's my habit of getting the newest Apple product every year. I get the iPod Touch third gen one Christmas
Why?
because it had a better graphics and I wanted 64
Oh, it
gigs to put
did?
all my movies on. Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought all it was. Actually, never knew what it was until that point. Thank you for telling me.
I'm it had
Because it didn't
something with
have
the
a
screen.
design. It didn't have a design change.
Oh
That's why
no.
it really confused me. And then I just had to figure. The only reason I figured this out too is because you had to know if your device was an MC model or an MB model, and they said if you have an MC model, that it has said you have a second gen iPod Touch, and I looked at, it,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh, that's awful. That'd be so disappointing. Aw, poor Jake. Like if you cry every time.
Yeah.
Right after that, I think either I think it might have been 2 years after that. In eighth grade or seventh grade, I got the iPhone 4S, iPhone 5 freshman year in December, iPhone 5S launch day
Mm-hmm. iPhone
September of
6 launch.
last year, and iPhone 6 day after launch this year. And I've been a happy iOS user ever since, and that's how it went down.
Nice.
Good times. I
And that
miss.
man walked up to you in the media center one day, and he said, "Look at my theme, Sam." And you go, "Jake, jailbreaking's bad for your
Oh my god.
device, isn't
I don't want to
it?"
look back at those dark periods.
That
Yeah, that was when I was such a little
was
JV
funny
noob.
though. um,
So I want to just tell people really
and then
quick.
let me finish up here. So
Okay.
that's why I said the iPod touches or all the iPods was our generation. I never see kids walking around with iPod touch fifth gens. It's always the fourth gen because so many people
People
got
got
them.
it.
Or
So
their
many.
mom's iPhone or their old mom's iPhone.
Or an iPhone. I see more 4 and 4Ss. Now I'm just starting to see the change where I see more iPhone 5 and 5Cs and ups
Right,
than
yeah.
4 and 4S.
It honestly is getting faster too. Like I'd see more people. It's happening faster than it used to.
Uh-huh.
And the reason we got iPod touches as kids is we wanted the iPhone, but we couldn't have it, and now we can.
Now we can. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like iPhone. For those of you interested in watching, I think I'm actually going to make a video on this on Tuesday, 2 days before, but you can actually go to apple.com/live and they're live streaming it starting at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
The event.
Yeah, so maybe I'll have laptops again in
Yeah,
class. I can.
you got get the dang. You have to have
Oh, that's
QuickTime,
true.
or no, you don't. If you have QuickTime Player now, apparently that doesn't work either.
It's just that's not
You
right.
have to have Safari, and that's
Mm-hmm.
so dumb.
Yeah, because you could watch it on your iPad, I guess.
Yeah, I had to watch the end, or like the last 20 minutes of the last event on my phone, and we couldn't watch it on. I was in programming class. We couldn't watch it on that giant sharp
Oh
TV
yeah, the 60 inches.
just because it was Windows. Yeah.
That's that is ridiculous. That they should not do that.
Yeah, that's
That only
just
that only
yeah.
hurts them if you ask me.
Yeah, no, it totally does because he installed Safari and it didn't even work.
Is there a Safari? Oh, there is a Safari
Yeah,
for
you
Windows.
can
It's
get
super.
Safari for Windows and it's not good. It's nothing compared to how it works on Mac.
No, it's it's so old. I think I looked into it too, and
Oh,
and
it's not even updated?
no, I'm pretty sure it's like Safari version 5 or something, and
Oh,
we're on
that's
7
gosh.
or maybe even 4 point something
What
crazy. But
no wonder why. All right. Well, yeah.
anything else you want to talk about relating to Apple or the event or?
But yeah, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with the iPods because
It'll be it'll be
I mean
awesome.
I'm not trying to generalize it. I can't really speak for everybody, but I just don't see them anymore.
I mean, that's true. They're not going to kill it,
Everybody
obviously,
has an
but
iPhone now.
that is true. The
I no, I don't think they're gonna kill
I mean,
them.
that would be morally wrong, but
Yeah, that would be morally wrong, probably.
mhm.
I think they should still continue to sell them, but that they're
You don't see them
they
as
should
much.
manufacture less. Maybe I mean I'm sure they're already doing that, but yeah.
Yeah, they should definitely manufacture less. Sorry, my dog is crying in the background. Little Maisie girl. So I guess that's about it, guys. Once again, the Apple event's gonna be at I think it's at Apple's campus this time, starting
Yeah,
at 10
it's
a.m.
at one of the campuses.
On October 16th of 2014. Tune in at apple.com/live if you want to watch the live stream.
I'm excited for this one.
I am. I definitely not the same excitement that I had for the iPhone event, but I'm excited. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Right.
It's been way too long, Jake.
Yep. It's been way too long. It's been too long. All right, guys. Well, subscribe to the Game Base and no,
Yeah.
uh,
Subscribe to all the YouTube channels.
yeah. I'm Jake from Lego My Django. I'm part of the Game Base. Sam's part of the Game Base too. I just wanted to put in this ad for us because I have to do that.
This episode was brought to you by the Game
By the Game
Base.
Base.
We should totally do our own sponsor for our
Oh
in-house.
yeah, like you're like, hold on, I have to read this ad really fast.
Yeah.
You
Before
like
we
games?
before we move on to that,
I got a channel for you.
we would like to thank the Game Base for sponsoring this episode of the PhonePod. That is our new name. Let us know in the comment section of this video what you guys think of the name. I think it's kind of catchy. I don't know.
I think it's original.
It's original. That's the truth. Good original. Not sure about that, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. Jake and I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys listening.
Yep.
So thanks a lot, guys. Alrighty. See you
All right.
guys in the next episode of the Phone Pod. Hopefully the new iPads will be they'll be out and we can talk about that.
Yeah, that'll probably be about the time we
We find
do
time
the
again.
next phone pod.
But yeah. Thanks again, guys, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
See you guys later.